Hello and welcome back to the channel. It seems that we've almost reached our 500 subscribers. We're at 499 or something like that, but of course we still need to get the hours up, and then I can offer all the perks directly on the channel instead of over in Patreon. Okay, so it's Easter Tuesday, and it's sort of a public holiday in Australia, an unofficial one. Everything is sort of open and not open. There's plenty of places open, but there's also plenty of places closed. Unfortunately, the place I want to go to is closed. So what I'm going to do today is give you a bit of a brief rundown of what we've done over the Easter break since the last video. And I've done quite a bit actually. I've fixed a Swedish Philips, and that is sounding so good that I don't want to sell it. I picked it off the shelf very quickly because it's it's not huge, but it's quite large and it takes up a lot of shelf space. And I was going to just do a quick check on it and do a couple of bits and pieces, but I've ended up really working on it and putting a Bluetooth adapter in and all that sort of thing. So it actually sounds very, very good. And as I said, I'm considering not selling it. It's so good. I've actually done a couple more of the 30 radios which I bought the other week, and yeah, they're just minor clean-ups, just a couple of caps and polishing the cases and things like that. What else have I done? I've been doing the Philadelphia. That is coming along sort of all right, but the wood is actually bowed, so it's sort of dish shaped, and I've had a real struggle getting it to go back together properly, but it is sort of there. I've also started on a couple of other HMV 6452s, and yeah, that's all the radio stuff I've done. We spent, how many hours? 11 hours. It was almost 11 hours on the Rover trying to get a pin out of the suspension. It's a three-way joint. It's attached in three places. The two end joints are quite easy to get out, relatively anyway, and the center one was it just wouldn't shift. I left the car weight completely on it, the whole weight of the front end of the car, which is the engine and everything like that. Overnight and through Good Friday, it didn't shift. We used two different heat guns on it. We used a percussion hammer on it. We used a couple of different sledgehammers on it. We used a 7-foot long crowbar. It just wouldn't shift. And then out of desperation, I remembered I had a set of hub splitters, and they aren't really designed for the job, but we struggled to get them in, the two halves in and the bolts, and getting it all lined up, and it finally gave way, made an enormous crack. There seems to be a little bit of corrosion on the actual pin itself. I'm waiting for the mechanic to open up, and then I can put the bush back in, or the new bush in, and button it all up, and that'll take me about half to 3/4 of an hour, and the car can be back on the road, and yeah, I can get roadworthy for it and all that sort of thing. Okay, so that's it for this time. I'll try and do a longer video on for Friday, but given it's Tuesday afternoon, I'm not too hopeful about doing that, and I've got a lot of other things to do for the HRSA because we have our big auction on Sunday. So that's another big job I've had to do over the long weekend. What else? Not much. Oh yes, I've got to try and get a transmitter to work, so a video transmitter, so we can get rid of all the cords that we drag around during the actual auction. Okay, so thank you again to all the new subscribers. They've been rolling in at a furious rate, well, relatively, and yeah. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.